Hello, tutor and inmates. First of all, I want to start by saying, well, my name is Jessica Camelo, and I've been in this course the following semester, the past semester, I'm sorry. I learned a lot through this semester, things that I've been doing as a practice in the school I work in, or things that are new to me, which I love to learn new things. So this has been a class where, a course, I'm sorry, where I've learned a lot. Well, my name is Jessica Camelo, and I'm going to start off with giving this the things that I've learned, which are the different methods and the things that have helped me understand better what I should do as a teacher and guide students to learn through different methods and not just the static method, but through different things. I want to start off saying I'm like apologizing, saying sorry because I wasn't able to get any students to work for this video. The school I work in, the kids are calendar B, and the weeks that we had open for this activity, the final exam activity, students were going out of a class and they had different things, so I wasn't able to do this in class with them. But I want to start off so we can start with the the different activities that have been planned for this um, for this activity, for this lesson plan, as you can say, or the syllabus. Well, it's not really a syllabus. So starting off, I'm going to speak about um, about phonics and commands. It's just a little bit about commands. And in the word part, you can see the videos because if I put them with this video, the video will be too long. So I would start off with a video of commands, which is a song where students can listen to different commands that the teacher is giving. So we're gonna start off with that activity, which is a video, and it's a song, or the other one is just a video where they say stand up and the kids stand up. This is very important, and as I've seen in the fifth grade students, which are the ones that I did this activity, they study this kind of thing since they're little kids. But when they start getting older, they learn it, but sometimes they don't pay attention to it so much, and they either learn it very well or they forget it. So these routines and commands help them learn and be able to go through the commands. So I'm going to show you some worksheets, the worksheets that students worked in for the commands activities. These commands activities were very important because what they heard in the videos, they worked as a group and spoke about it while they were coloring. So they would say, "Oh, stand up," and then they would stand up, and then the one other kid would say, "Sit down." And while they said stand up, they would color the little picture that said that was there to stand up. When they said sit down, they had to know what command they were being asked and what command they had to be doing. So I'm going to show you some worksheets that they worked. Okay, after that activity, the students had a critical thinking time or a visual thinking routine time. Uh, I chose CSI, which is CSI is the short or the letter symbols abbreviation or the symbols for color, symbol, and image. So students were supposed to get together and they were going to choose a color that represented the phonics that they chose, a symbol that represented the phonic that they chose, and an image that represented the phonic that they chose. This is a very fun activity. Students love this activity because they get to truly explain why they think or they choose a different activity or a different activity, no, sorry, a different, let's say, if one boy chose the F, as in fox, that kind of sound, and then he says, I chose F because I don't know, because I like it, and this F reminds me of the color blue as the color. The image I would do is the F, and the symbol I would put is fox, because that's the word it represents to me. So this routine is very important because it makes them think and realize why they choose different things, and this helps them truly learn something, because if they're able to do this, they're able to explain, they're not memorizing, they're truly learning. So I'm going to show you the format of the CSI, and for you to check it out. After this preview of CSI, students will have a video about different phonics. So now it's time to get deep in. So not they will have, because they did. They were, after they saw this video, they were very curious, because like it's such a rhythmical video, they kept on repeating it. So I stopped it many times so they would actually think about it and say, oh, so this is the way you say this. Oh, and they would ask me, teacher, how do you repeat this? Teacher, because they were very amazed in the way how maybe A has 3 ways, 4 ways to say A, and it's not only A, it's A in apple, or A in aunt, or different kinds of uh, pronounce pronunciations. So this was a better development of the activity, because kids were willing to repeat. They repeated each word, each letter, I'm sorry, and they were very happy with the rhythmical thing. So you can see a following picture of the phonics, and the video is attached in the lesson plan, so you can check it out. Okay, after this, students will have to go around through their classmates and participate between themselves and say, okay, am I saying this phonic correct? How many ways can how many ways are there to say the letter A? Or how many ways are there to say the letter E? And each student will have the name of, or they have the name of the student, and they have like a check, like they write, he knows how to pronounce, so they're evaluating themselves. Students really like this activity. They were actually like, teacher, can we do this more often? Because they like when they have like a little bit of authority and be able to say, oh, you did this, but you're missing this. And this also helps students, so when they're older, they can actually say, oh, teacher, they can say, oh, they can accept their flaws, and they can also not always be pointing at people and saying you did this, and this wrong, but also say, wow, you are much better in me than this, or you can do this better, or you're so good at this, or because as human beings, we don't like to accept, sometimes, not always, when people are doing something correctly or wrong. So this will teach us, help us, or teach them and help them. It actually did teach them how to respect everyone else, because each human being has their own talents. And I'm different than the teacher from second grade. They're different from the teacher of first grade. They're all different. We're all different. We have talents that no one else has. And maybe they do, but maybe they have that talent and another that maybe you don't, and you have another talent. So it's like that. So this was very helpful, not only in the English area, but in the values. Yes, they respect that others have things that might be better than them, and they respect and love that maybe they can have a better attitude, or not attitude. They have a better pronunciation in phonics, let's say in this case. They really enjoyed this activity, and I'm going to show you the little format, or the paper that is also in the lesson plan of the phonics. It's just a paper that says phonics, and I put the student's name there, and it said like one of their names is Juan Esteban Benitez. So I started with him because he's the first ABC last name, and I put yes or no on the worksheet. So I hope you guys can check it out. And in the lesson plan, it's there. It doesn't have the names, but it's just for you to put the names. Or in this case, it was me, and I put the names with pencil. So that's why they're not there. During practice time, this is very important. I chose a program or a thing, a source, a tool that is called Audacity. Audacity was very helpful for me when I was learning some French. This is something that they made me speak and like read like a poem or something in French, and it was very helpful. This is important because students are going to record themselves pronouncing the different phonics. So for them, it's very important that they can actually pronounce correctly. So in this case, this was kind of a funny activity for my students because they were sitting down with the Audacity problem first. It was an Audacity teaching class. They had to learn how to use Audacity because for them, as being fifth graders, they didn't know about the program that well, so they took it very slow and had to give like you record, and then if you didn't like how you said this letter and then you pronounce it and you say it different, then you can erase that little part and you can glue this part there. So it was the whole process of teaching all those this Audacity, sorry. So this is a tool that they learned to use, and they started putting their headphones on, and they started listening to what they were saying, pronouncing what they were uh, trying to say. And sometimes when let's say they say when apple, so they checked and they said, "Ooh, I said it wrong," and they were listening to their own mistakes without me saying, "Hey, you're saying it wrong." They were like, "Oh, I said it wrong," and they, "Teacher, look, I found a mistake," and they were checking on their own mistakes. So this is very helpful and useful because students learn to see their mistakes, and they can start listening. They have an open ear to language, so it's easier for them to, when they have a native person speak to them, they understand because their ear is open to it. So this is a very fun activity, and I recommend it. It was way a good activity where students learned very much. For the evaluating part, what I did was I was checking on the kids constantly throughout the whole process. I was more of an observer. So I probably used also the silent way because I was an observer. I gave instructions, but I was just checking on what they were doing, acting, and make sure that they were following the instructions. But overall, they did a pretty good job with that. They followed instructions, they answered questions, they did what they were supposed to. And I was actually evaluating each thing during the same process. But I cannot evaluate, let's say, a visible thinking routine the same way I am going to evaluate, let's say, the audacity. Because with the visible thinking routine, I cannot say what you're thinking it's wrong. So I don't do that. So I gave different kinds of evaluation for this process. And for the last part, but not least, the application of this lesson plan phonics is going to be used through their whole life. If they know how to pronounce phonics, they will be able to speak better, and they will be able to show that they know what they're talking about. And this is students will be continuously learning about it because when they need to spell or things like that, they can understand exactly what they're talking about, and this is very important for them. So my kids had a very good time doing this, and they were very happy that they were able to do it. I did this project with fifth graders in 2012. That's when I was their fifth grade teacher, and I was constantly on them according to this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this project and this lesson plan, and you guys could learn from it and be better teachers each day. Thank you very much.